My overall impression is that it's heartbreaking and hard to watch. My impression of his non-speech activities is that his muscles is rigidity and he had tremors. Don had trouble controlling his facial muscles that helped him articulate his speech. My impression of his speech activities is that I noticed when Don had to say, he had poor flexibility with opening his lips and creating range to make the sound. I might be wrong, but it seemed that he had one side of his lips open more than the other when he said the sound. And this just shows that he struggles with muscle tone and controlling his postural adjustment. For the motor speech exam, my overall impression was I noticed he had a tremor in his jaw and tongue when he stuck his tongue out. I noticed a tremor when Don was asked to puff his cheeks. I noticed Don had poor strength in his lips, but Don displayed strength in his jaw. When Don would say, it was at a very low range, monotone, and his voice kind of fluttered. Don could not change the pitch in his voice either, and it stayed at a monotone voice. It made me upset to find out Don used to love to sing, and he could sing at a really, really high range, he said. He talked about how he could sing Tiptoe Through the Tulips by Tiny Tim, and if you ever heard that song before, it's super high pitched, so it's just sad to find out that he can't sing, can't do what he used to love. I noticed Don had trouble with the sound, and that is probably because he has poor control over his lips. These are just a few things that I noticed that I wanted to mention. If I had to do anything, I would check Don's saliva and see how he swallows as part of the motor speech exam. This is important because usually people with Parkinson's disease, they had trouble swallowing and they tend to drool. I would also check his larynx. I could have Don, cough and make grunting sounds for me. This would kind of help me get a good idea of how his vocal cords are abducting.